If you are a victim of stressing about other people problems, this episode is for you, baby. Okay? Because I used to be a victim of this. I once in a while I become a victim of it, but then I have to get back into my mental state of just completely blocking it off because it's so stressful when you have that one. It could be a family member, it could be a friend. It don't matter who it is. If you love this person and they're going through something, I tend to literally get stressed out by their problems. Yes, I know you're like, wait, what? People who can't relate, listen, welcome to this episode. Let me tell you what people like me be going through, okay? And the people that can relate, baby, we about to talk about it. But anyway, y'all know before I talk about it, I gotta do commercial time. So with that being said, can I get a drum roll, please? Good morning, Instagram. And of course, good morning to the TikTok, you don't stop. And good morning to all my beautiful podcast listeners out there. Like, you guys are literally the GOATs. Like, y'all be really holding it down when I be like real life having to do real life things and have to put my content creation things on hold. But y'all really still be downloading. Y'all really still be tuned in. And y'all go up. And let me tell you, if you're new here, I have like 60 something episodes. I guarantee you I have an episode about what you're going through. I guarantee you. Just flip through the episodes. Do me that favor. But yes, and if you're watching me on YouTube, hey YouTube, you know what I'm saying? I can see me, so you know it's like a face-to-face thing with YouTube. If you can't see me, it's okay. Hopefully my voice guides you through what we're about to talk about today. But anyway, so like I had said at the beginning, the intro of this episode, I stress off of people problems. I know for people that are confused and probably like, what are you talking about? Let me tell you something, right? When somebody I love is going through something, like something serious, like whether it's a breakup, it's a divorce, they broke, it stresses me out because I'm that person that I will listen to you, okay? I will listen to you. I will try my best to help you. You know what I'm saying? And as I got older, I started to realize, stop doing that. No, and not even in a like F them way. Listen, you love who you love. Everybody love differently. You know what I'm saying? But like in a I need to protect myself from their decisions in life type of way. My favorite line is I don't have no kids. Okay? So, and the day that I do have kids is the day when it becomes my problem. But until then, this is not my problem. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is not my problem. I did not take on responsibility of being there for this person. Yes, I love you. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, if you're stressing me out, yeah, it's time for me to keep my distance, or it's time for me to treat you a certain way so that I can protect my peace. Because let me tell you something about my peace. I go to war for my peace every time, baby. World War II, 3 up in here, okay? For my peace. And it's not like a beef type of thing, cutting somebody off type of thing. It's more, I'll give you guys an example, right? You have that one friend or a family member that you're really close with, cousin, sister, yada, 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 right? And she's dating this guy, right? And she sees the red flags. She talks to you about the red flags. You literally put on her glasses for her to see the red flags, but she still continue dealing with this person. But it's one thing if you choose, listen, if you choose to go into the woods, that is on you. I told you that it's dark in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did my part. I told you what it was. If you want to go into the dark woods, that is on you. But what you're not going to do is try to drag me in the woods with you. Do not call my phone every time speaking about this problem that I already told you it was the outcome going to be. And that you already see what the outcome is going to be. Or I told you what the outcome was going to be and I was right. And now you chose to sit there and still entertain it. And then want to call my, you know what I'm saying? Like, and let me tell you something about people like this. If you one of those people, please stop calling people with your problems. Get a therapist. No, literally, because I be going through it on my own. You get what I'm saying? Every day is a mental battle for me without my mother being here. For those of you who don't know, my mother passed in 2019, right? And every day is a mental battle. Like every day I wake up and I be like, damn, I got to do another day without her. But I don't call people with those problems. I really don't. Like, I just deal with it on my own. And granted, not everybody has that mental strength to do that. I understand. But what I'm here to try to encourage you to do is to get a therapist, baby. Get somebody that's one, mentally trained to hear people problems all day, mentally trained to not take it home with them, and who gets paid for it. Because we don't get paid for it. Now, if you was to offer me some pay, maybe I might reconsider, you know what I'm saying? But it's not even like, no. I'm telling you, counselor, therapist, whatever it is, get that person. Because some people need to vent and talk about their problems in order to get through it. And you're not wrong for doing how you deal with stress. It's just that people like me who take the stress home with us, we are fed up. And I'm here to tell the people, stand up for yourself and stop taking these problems home, because we're not the one making these decisions. We're not. If anything, we're trying to avoid. If anything, we have made the decision that you're doing, or we were smart enough not to make that decision and go around it, or to just not do it, period. I know that the stove is hot. Either I touched the stove before, or I don't witness fire coming from the stove, which proven to me that the stove is hot. So if I'm telling you not to touch the stove and you touch the stove and you burn yourself, don't come crying to me after I told you that the stove was hot. Like, that's just, listen, it could be something like making horrible health decisions. You know your diet is horrible, or you are pre-diabetic or diabetes, and you still sitting here doing all this, eating all this sugar and things that's horrible for you. I don't want to witness that. I don't want to hear you crying on the phone to me talking about, oh, I got this health issue, but you're not doing anything to better yourself. I'm sorry, but this is my season of me choosing me. 2025, I'm choosing me all the way, baby. Okay? And it's not like I don't love you. I'm going to tell you the first time. The first time is free. Yeah, the first time is free. The first time you're like, oh my God, I'll be like, oh my God, like, that's so crazy, but like, here's the plan. I'll even do research, send you videos on how we can make this happen. You know what I'm saying? But the moment you just start doing what you want to do and not listening to what needs to be done from your doctors, don't come crying to me when your symptoms start getting worse, or even worse, you might wind up in the hospital. Like, that's like, these are your decisions that I am too grown. I'm too into my woman stage of life to be telling grown ass folks what to do when it's common sense. 1 + 1 = 2. Common sense. Your doctor tells you what you need to do in order to be healthy, in order to maintain whatever you got going on health-wise. You don't want to listen to them. That is completely on you. Just do not call my phone with the bullshit. That's all I'm asking for. Because I am that person, or I used to be that person that will listen to you, will vent with you. I will cry with you. But when you don't want to listen, baby, I'm busy. Busy bee. Okay? And it could be finances. Let me say something about me with finances, right? First of all, let's talk about it. I need to make that a whole another episode within itself. But like, my parents, when they was growing up, credit wasn't a thing. Credit is new. I don't know if you guys ever sat down and really think about this, but in the early 2000s, credit was not a thing. Especially in the 90s. The 90s, you did not need credit to get apartments. Credit was not a thing. So the fact that my parent had to literally learn credit like in her 40s, I want to say, late 30s, and mind you, it's new. It's not like we have access. We can watch videos. We can really educate ourselves on something new that came out. Back in the day, you couldn't do that. If you didn't have a family member that didn't know somebody that knows somebody, or was doing research, or was getting certain newspapers to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like you had to know somebody who knows somebody to understand how to do it, baby. So yeah, a lot of them got it wrong. They definitely did, rightfully so, because the right resources wasn't given to them when they did this whole credit thing. Well, at least to my community, you know what I'm saying? So I get it. Finances, it's a lot, credit, understanding different bank accounts, investing, stocks. That is a whole another world, right? But here's my thing. If I'm speaking to you from experience about what to do, especially when you know that it's wrong, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you're supposed to be doing, like, and you still don't want to listen, that's your credit score, not mine. Like, that's your credit score, not mine. I'm not stressing about it. Or that you got the money to pay your rent, or you choose to sit there and buy a bag or do some dumbness, go on vacation instead, and then you want to come crying to me on my phone. Busy, baby. I need that sound. I'm gonna see if I get that sound with the iPhone sound, with the doo doo doo. I need that, because that's what it's gonna be. Don't call my phone with it. I don't want to hear about it. When you get an eviction letter, because you know what I'm saying, they don't be playing. New York don't be playing. Y'all can sleep on New York if I want to. When the marshals come knocking at that motherfucking door, it's a whole different ball game right there. Okay, it's a whole different ball game. But yeah, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want, because I told you from the jump, why don't do that, and you did it. So I did my part. It wasn't like I just sat there and let you make a bad decision. I told you not to do it. You know what I'm saying? I told you, and you chose not to listen. So now you have to deal with these consequences. And you know what it goes back to? I have an episode about that. I have an episode about people people not accepting the consequences for the decisions that they make, and it pisses me off. It literally pisses, because let me tell you something. When I know I'm about to do something, like when I know I'm breaking the rules, you get what I'm saying, and I know, like, dang, I could get arrested for this, or dang, I could get in trouble for this, I be mentally preparing myself for if I get caught. Like, am I the only one who does this? Like, I don't walk in there just thinking like, yeah, they can't touch me, like MC can't touch this. No, I go in there mentally prepared for the worst, but hoping for the best. That's just me. Everybody different. Not everybody like me. But for the people that's like me, you feel my pain. Which is why I had to stop letting people problems stress me out. Because you are the one that's making these decisions, not me. Like I said, I don't have no kids. And even if you do have kids, for the people that do have kids that listen to this episode, worry about your kids' decisions. Don't be worrying about family members. And no, but you have to work. Because let me tell you something. Your kids is they're a reflect of you. They reflect you. That's your mirror. You get what I'm saying? And their problems is your problems because you're the parent. So save your energy for your kids. Like, don't give these folks, especially grown adults. Like, we talking about grown adults here in this episode. Grown adults. You know better, but you still choose to do bad. And who am I to tell you wrong? Matter of fact, who am I to tell you right? You know what's right. So why am I telling you? I probably already told you before, and you still chose not to do that. So therefore, it is what it is. I want y'all to normalize, okay? Telling people, I don't want to hear about that. Normalize it. Let's normalize telling people I don't want to hear about it. Change the subject. I'm over it. I already told you how to deal with that. Next. And let me tell you, for the people that are the venters and that need to vent, don't feel like this person, if they start telling you this, don't feel like that person don't love you. It's not that. You have, as adults, the whole point of adulthood is to learn how to deal with life, which we don't have it figured out. You know what I'm saying? We really don't have to figure it out. But it's certain skills that you need to learn in life in order to know how to navigate through this life jungle. And one of those skills is learning how to deal with your problems. It's learning how to deal with your problems. And in order to learn how to deal with your problems, guess what, baby? Guess what? You ready? Learn how to deal with them on your own. Stop depending on people to deal with your problems for you. Because what are you going to do when those people are not there? You're going to cry in a corner? Or you're going to figure out a way? What are you going to do? The choice is yours. Learn how to deal with your problems without stressing other people out. It's so mentally exhausting when people, and this has been happening to me all my life, like ever since I was a teenager, and like, you know, like let me tell you something, I'm from New York, okay? And like some crazy things be happening in New York. I done had a whole stranger tell me their whole life story. And you know what I did? I listened. I actually listened. Most people be like, what? You didn't? No, because the person wasn't crazy. You could just tell that they needed to let that out. And sometimes that's happening. But let me tell you the difference between a stranger and somebody you love. When that stranger's done telling the story, I'm going back to living my life. When that person that I love, I can't get that off my mind because I love you. And I don't want nothing to happen to you. And I don't want you stressed out. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like in the back of my mind, or I might see something that might trigger me to think about what you're going through, and you know what I'm saying? Or worse, I might be in a situation to where I gotta pull up and help you with your situation, and now you stressing me out, and now we both about to go to jail. For what? Because you can't be an adult and deal with your problems on your own. I'm sorry if it's mean. This episode was not made for me to be nice. I'm fed up, and for the people that are like me, who literally take people problems into their own consideration, who try to be there for them, stop. It's gonna wear you out. Stress could kill. It's a scientific fact. Stress could kill. And when those other people, I'd rather die from my own problems than die from somebody else's problems any day. Any day. And that's the episode. And that's just, it is what it is. And if you made it this far, I love you. And if you didn't, you probably got triggered and clicked right off, and it's okay. Because this episode was not made for me to hold your hand. This episode was made for you to man up or woman up and deal with it. That's just, it is what it is. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Like I said, there's so many other episodes. I have nicer episodes also, but this episode had to be mean because like people are just, I'm just over it, and I want my people that's like me to literally like stand up for themselves and start to speak up, because it's not fair that we being stressed out for other people's problems. Like, it's not fair. We got our own stuff that we have to deal with. Everybody has their own problems. It's all about just how you deal with them. But anyway, thank you so much for listening and watching this episode, and I will see you guys in my next episode.